Wow. What's up YouTube? It's your boy, BMAC. And if this is your first time here to this channel, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. Make sure you smash that subscribe button with all notifications turned on so that you never miss another video on this channel. And if you've been here before, or if you're already subscribed, welcome back. So yes, in case you could not tell, Apple has finally released lossless, high-res lossless, and spatial audio on Apple Music at no additional cost. But I know there's still a great deal of confusion out there over what lossless audio is, how to even get it on your devices, and if it's actually gonna make a difference, so I figured, time to make a video about that very subject. I've been listening to lossless and spatial audio on Apple Music with my AirPods Max and a couple other headphones over the past couple days, and I got some things to say. But before we go any further, first things first, a little mini lesson for you. What is lossless music or lossless audio? And why would you want that? Basically, when you're listening to a song, especially on Apple Music, that song has been compressed to a certain file size and a certain file type. When you're listening to lossless audio, the idea is that you're listening to a compressed version of that audio, but with all the original data. This is where something called sample rates and bit rates come into play, but things could get pretty technical pretty quick, so I'm gonna try to keep it as simple as possible. When it comes to Apple Music, when you're listening in lossless, you're listening at a maximum resolution of 24-bit 48 kilohertz. And when you're listening to high-res lossless, you're actually getting a little bit more data. You're listening at 24-bit 192 kilohertz. And the more data you have to work with, in theory, the more detail you could hear, the more high quality your audio actually will be. But I know there's a lot of confusion over if lossless or high-res lossless actually makes a difference over Bluetooth, and long story short, you can't really get true lossless audio over Bluetooth. Now there are ways to kind of circumvent this, kind of going back to what we said earlier, when you have a specific file that's compressed down to another file. There's certain codecs, as they're called, that could actually help transmit the file over wireless, over Bluetooth, and get it close. If you do actually listen hardwired, which means you're actually plugging into your device, in my case the iPhone, and then the AirPods Max, are you getting lossless audio quality, that high quality that the high-res lossless would actually provide for you? Yes, somewhat, but yes. I'll explain. In my experience, I've been hunting down the high-res lossless available songs on Apple Music, and I certainly can hear a difference when listening to them. Now granted, I consider myself somewhat of an audiophile, so I guess I have a trained ear to hear the difference, but I can hear the difference, absolutely. If you wanna listen to songs in the Apple Music library at a resolution past 48 kilohertz, you will need a hardwired connection. So, in other words, if you want to listen to high-res lossless songs to really hear the difference that they're making, you're gonna have to hook this baby up the old-fashioned way. And not only that, but if you want to listen to songs in the Apple Music library past that 48 kilohertz, so in high-res lossless, you're gonna need something called a DAC, or a digital to analog converter. A digital to analog converter, or a DAC, does exactly what the name kind of suggests. It takes a digital signal and converts it into an analog signal so that you could listen hardwired at those higher resolutions. At those higher resolutions. Now, with the AirPods Max, it's a little bit of a different setup. We'll get to that in a second. And I know what you're thinking. Well, if I want to listen hardwired from something like my iPhone, can't I just use that Lightning to 3.5 millimeter audio converter that the iPhones used to come with? No, you can't. Unfortunately, you can't. I mean, you could, but with that particular converter, there's a built-in DAC that's gonna cap you at 48 kilohertz. So it's technically a DAC, but not the kind of DAC you wanna use to get that high-res lossless. Now the DAC I currently use is a DAC I'm absolutely head over heels in love with. This little thing has been my pride and joy for listening to higher fidelity music over the past year or so. It is a Dragonfly DAC. If you guys wanna learn more, of course, there's gonna be an affiliate link, bmac.link/Dragonfly DAC, or of course, there's gonna be a link in the video. There's going to be a link in the video description box below. Sometimes my mind goes faster than how I can actually get out the words, and I just end up jumbling a bunch of words together and you guys can't understand what I'm talking about. So, yes, bmac.link/Dragonfly DAC, link in the video description box below. There, got it that time. Now with this DAC, as you'll notice, there's a USB-A end, and then on the other end of it, there's actually a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. So you're going from USB to analog, your headphone jack. And obviously, this puppy's not gonna actually fit into your phone. It doesn't work that way, so you need to go from Lightning to USB. Link in the video description box for this bad boy as well. This is a USB-A to Lightning converter, so this is gonna allow you to go from Lightning on your iPhone, if we plug this in here, to USB, and then you're gonna plug the DAC in to the USB. I know this is not seamless, this is kind of a clunky setup, but this is what you gotta do to take full advantage of high-res lossless audio past that 48 kilohertz like we were talking about on Apple Music. So we'd plug this baby in, and then from here, you're actually gonna get a light up on this particular DAC, which is awesome. It tells you the audio signal that you're utilizing right now. Right now I know this is high-res lossless because of the color. Now from here, since this is a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack at this point, from here, if you're using just another pair of headphones that has your typical headphone jack on it as well, you can just use an aux cord to go from the DAC to your favorite pair of headphones. These are my beloved Sony WH-1000 XM4s. Love these things, so from there, pretty easy setup. And that will allow you to get high-res lossless. You'll be listening to lossless music from Apple Music on your favorite pair of headphones. But with the AirPods Max, of course, there's gotta be a catch. There's a catch. On the AirPods Max, I've already discussed this on this channel, but there's actually no headphone jack. The only port we get on this thing is a Lightning port. So this isn't terrible, it's annoying, somewhat terrible, but it's not really terrible. There's a workaround, but it's gonna cost a little bit more money per usual. You're gonna need to pick up one of these bad boys, and this is a Lightning to an aux jack converter. So it's kind of like an aux cable, but you have just your usual 3.5 millimeter on one end and a Lightning on the other end. What this thing is doing is basically taking your analog signal and converting it back to your digital signal, which you're gonna use in the Lightning port of your AirPods Max. Now, in case your gears are turning, things obviously are gonna change a little bit right here. Technically, since we're going from digital to analog, and then back from analog to digital via this connection right here, we aren't getting true lossless on the AirPods Max. Now, as it stands right now, technically, no, you won't be able to get true lossless, true high-res lossless on the AirPods Max because of that connection. The things aren't gonna match up exactly like with the high-res lossless audio file, but in my testing, it gets you pretty darn close, and it still sounds really good. These will all be linked in the video description box below, so don't worry if you're trying to keep track of what I'm talking about here. I'll link them all in the video description box, so check that out. It'll have it all there for you, my affiliate links, all set up for you. So that's lossless and that's high-res lossless. The other thing we gotta talk about is spatial audio. Now, spatial audio, completely different. If you guys have not experienced spatial audio, it's not brand new. It's actually been rolled out on different AirPods devices over the last year or two. You definitely gotta experience it. The first time I've actually used it was during a TV show. I was actually listening to a spatial audio supported TV show from Apple using my AirPods, and it was awesome. In a nutshell, spatial audio is like 3D sounds. Basically, the headphones know your orientation of which way you're facing, and it sounds like you're actually listening to the audio in a cinema setting. So you have different sounds coming from different angles. I've already said in my review of the AirPods Max that that's pretty much the effect you get with these bad boys to begin with, and then you top on top of that the spatial audio, and it is a really cool experience. And again, the best way I could explain it is depth. You hear the sounds, but they sound like they're coming at you from a certain angle. It's very cool. Now, the biggest difference between spatial audio and lossless audio is that lossless audio is focusing on quality, while spatial audio is focusing more on experience, that depth kind of experience we were just talking about. And the cool thing about spatial audio is that it actually works over Bluetooth. So you can experience spatial audio wirelessly. You don't have to have any kind of hardwire connection. It's gonna work today. If you guys head to Apple Music, there's already a playlist there and a bunch of different songs that are available in spatial audio. You just use your AirPods Pro or your AirPods Max with your iPhone. Make sure you have spatial audio enabled in settings, by the way. And once you do that, you'll be experiencing spatial audio right from your iPhone to your AirPods or your AirPods Max. Now, which one is better? They're completely different. They're not really meant to compete with one another. They're totally different experiences. Again, one's quality, one is depth, one is all about preserving the detail, the other one's all about the experience. So two different things here. If you had to put them head to head, the one I prefer is high-res lossless, just because I love quality. Basically, the sounds are closest to what they sounded like in the studio, and I prefer that. But if I ever don't have a hardwired connection and a song is available with Dolby Atmos, which is the spatial audio version of the songs in the Apple Music library, I'm gonna listen with spatial audio. They're both awesome, they're both really cool. One obviously has a complex setup, the other one is super easy. It really just depends on what your preferences are and what you're looking for in your Apple Music experience. But at the end of the day, all these new features are completely free. If you're already an Apple Music subscriber, 10 bucks a month, whatever it is you're paying, you don't pay any more money. You're just keeping your subscription going and boom, you're getting all these awesome new features for no additional price. And technically, I guess you can't really complain about that. So that's gonna do it for this video today. It's somewhat of a quick, straightforward video. I just wanted to talk about high-res lossless, lossless, and spatial audio in Apple Music, my experience, and how all of a sudden the AirPods Max are kind of shooting up on my favorite headphones list because of this support that we got now. And overall, some very cool stuff happening. Definitely paves the way for future stuff in the future. And I'm here for it. I'm excited for it. And with that having been said, I'm actually putting together a high-res lossless playlist on Apple Music. You guys could follow me on Apple Music if you want to see all my songs, all my playlists. And I'm gonna get back to that. I will see you guys in my next video. Spatial audio. This is nuts.